Hello, gorgeous folks. It's Darice at Moon Life Astro. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. Hopefully, you will receive some value from this space. I just want to come in today and just talk about the vibe in the air. Things feel very heavy. I know people are freaked out. There's a lot happening in the collective. And I'm thinking of all of this as lessons from Pluto. Pluto re-entered Aquarius this past November, where it's going to stay for the next 19 years or so. Pluto is about deep transformation, the death, rebirth, or the life, death, rebirth cycle. Um, and I think it's easy to gloss over that. We always hear that in reference to Pluto. And a lot of times we don't really think about what that actually means, the death, rebirth, life cycle. I mean, of course, it's obvious when you think about it in terms of like a human life, but sometimes it's harder to wrap our heads around it when it's about our spiritual, emotional death and rebirth, our death, rebirth of our emotional patterns. And I feel like, in particular, this is about us in the US, at least in particular. But this is happening all over the country. I mean, all over the globe, actually. This tension between do we want to live from a more conservative, patriarchal approach to life, or do we want to have a more feminine, collective approach to leadership and how, countries, regions are governed? And I think it's all happening at this time because one of the lessons of Pluto is how are we going to be while Pluto is in Aquarius? What does it mean to be part of a collective? And at the same time, how do we embrace our individuality? That is the core of that question. And what I've been thinking about the last few days is something I've learned from feminists, Black feminists in particular, joy as resistance. And I've heard a few other healers talk about this on their YouTube channels as well, although they didn't put it in those terms. But there has been this sense of one way to reclaim our power in a country and in a space and in a time where it feels like everything is falling apart, where we see so many people being targeted, so many vulnerable communities being attacked. It's so easy to want to surrender to despair. And I think one of the lessons from Pluto and Aquarius right now is we're going to have to develop a whole new skill set around resilience and emotional flexibility. And a key part of that is embracing our joy as resistance. Because the thing about colonialism is one of the easiest ways to make someone feel like they are not human is to steal your joy. And so a lot of the shock and awe that we are experiencing, that's strategic. Like they want to wear out your nervous system. They want you constantly on alert. It is classic abuser behavior. Freak people out, have them on edge, and then give them a brief reprieve, let them let their guard down, make them feel better. We can have all of these horrible things happen in a flurry so that when something that would have been considered really horrible, like 6 months ago, a year ago, they offer that. And we think, oh, well, that's not so bad. Maybe they're not so bad. Maybe I should give them another chance. Maybe they really didn't mean to do all those horrible things to me. And you relax. And then it starts all over again. They jack your nervous system up. They freak you out. They terrify you. They traumatize you. And on it goes. And then, just as someone who's looking at the astrology for this year and next year, uh, buckle up. It's not going to get easier. And I hate to break that to you. I really do. But we're friends, and friends, we tell each other the truth. Life is just going to get harder for the next couple of years. So we have got to step up our game. And I think that that's what Pluto and Aquarius is about. It's like you got to grow up in a whole new way. in a way you have never expected or experienced. And that is often a lesson of Pluto. When you have a major Pluto transit or Pluto experience in your life, something devastating happens so that you have to develop a new strength that you never thought you had inside of you. You have to find a way to scrape yourself up off the floor and stand tall, like to come from your space of strength and surety. Like, this is what this time is about. And many of us, we're light workers, we're star seeds, we're here to make life better. We wanted to be here at this time because we're at the precipice of human consciousness expanding, growing, and it's birthing pains, which is why it's all so hard. But there's hope, because the key to accessing our strength is embracing what makes us feel good, what helps us learn how to refill our emotional cup, because our emotional cups are going to get drained again and again and again over the next few years. And we have got to have the skill to refill it, to get back to our center. And so part of this is recognizing that we can't save everyone, but we can do our part. We can help maybe one person, or we can help one vulnerable population. We can be allies where we're able to be allies and when we're able to be allies. So start with that. Think about what you can do, who you can help, who you can support, but make it manageable, because we got to be in this for the long haul. This is a time to think about not only your legacy for the next 20 years, but what kind of world do you want to have on planet Earth 300 years from now? We need to tap into that kind of thinking. If you look at your life as a seed for what generations 300 years from now are going to experience, what would you want to plant? What kind of seed do you want your life to be, to represent? Because if you come from that attitude and from that space of love for the next 7, 8, 12 generations, that's going to help you tap into a whole new level of power that's so much stronger than what we're up against right now. Because the thing to remember, excuse me, got something in my eye there. The thing to remember is that the people that are making life so hard for so many of us, they're coming from fear. They're coming from anxiety. And that is much weaker than love. When your intention, your motivation is driven by love and grace and joy, that is 1,000 times more powerful than hate and anger. So we have the advantage, and we need to remember that. And I think that is a key lesson in Pluto in Aquarius. And the fastest way, the easiest way that it's been for me to tap into that power is to embrace radical optimism, radical joy, joy as resistance. So yes, I support the communities that I can support. I help the people I can help when I'm able to. I'm calling my representatives and Congress and the Senate because, yes, democracy is flawed, it is weak, but it is not completely broken and it is not dead. And I personally refuse to give up on democracy. So I'm going to do my part to keep it alive and to help it thrive. And I recognize that I have so much more power outside of that too, that it's time to live from my own space of joy, to give myself permission to thrive. Because if I can thrive, what if you have the best year ever? What if you and I having our best years ever puts us in a stronger position to help those who are vulnerable and under attack? So I want you to think about embracing your joy from that perspective. I want you to think about how you want your life to be a seed for good for 300 years from now, to have a longer view, a longer perspective. And maybe part of the reason why I'm having this feeling, this sort of approach to things is like Mercury just ran into Aquarius. And that is Mercury in Aquarius thinking, having a sense of detachment from the long haul, from the immediacy. Because I'm telling you, friend, we have got to develop resilience in a way we've never developed it before if we are going to make our country and the world a better place, if we are going to help the people that we want to help. So I'm telling you, tap into your joy, do the things that make you feel good when you can, keep taking those walks, keep, drinking the water, stay hydrated, make quality time for friends and family, have those moments, and you can support the businesses that may be under attack in your communities, if you can support those people by just patronizing them, or even just going in and just saying hello, talking to the people who run those places, connect with them, just check in on them, say, hey, how are you doing? These little things, they have huge ripple effects. You just smiling at someone that you're walking past down the street, giving someone a compliment, all of these things go such a long way to helping you feel better and other people around you feel better. So, radical optimism, radical joy. Let's create a vision of our country and our world being more phenomenal than it has ever been. There being more love and joy on the planet, so that when you're doing your activism, when you're doing the things to fight back against all the horrible things that we are seeing, tap into it from a space of joy, radical joy, because my life has improved so much since I embraced joy as resistance. It's given me so much more strength and fortitude and a sense of possibility. I'm going to probably keep talking about this for probably a couple weeks, because it feels like that's in the air. It feels like that's what people need to be reminded of. And let's have a better strategy than the people driven by hate right now have. We cannot let them wear us out or wear us down. We cannot let them drive us into despair and paralyzing fear, because that's what they want. They want to wreck your nervous system so that you become apathetic and frozen, because they recognize how powerful you are. They know your power better than you do. And I want to remind you that your power comes from love and light, truth, harmony, grace. This is who we are. And this is why we will thrive. This is why we will win in the long run. Yes, it will be hard. It will be tough. But we can do this. We can do this. So I just wanted to bring that to you. Take a breath, breathe, and, take care of yourself, recover from the hits as you need to. But it's okay to get back up, and it's okay to thrive. Give yourself permission to thrive, because joy is where your truth and your strength can come from. So I just want to share that with you today. Peace, love, joy, grace, easefully yours, Darice.